get fat of it. So one of my vision board words for this year is embrace the exposure. And I've been trying to do more book events and actually going out and trying to sell my book in person as opposed to just pushing my book for the online Amazon store. And I've been enjoying it. And every time I think I'm gonna wind down, I'm like, oh, that's all the stuff I scheduled, so that's it. Something else pops up, and it's becoming like a thing now. And I've joined like a writers group, and they do like a workshop once a month. And like I'm doing all the things, the most random things, but I'm doing all the things. And I've learned so much just from being out with other authors. Just like I know people say that all the time, and I'm like, yeah, they'll tell you stuff. And you think it's the same stuff that you find online, but it's not. It's so much more. And I learned a ton. Like I found out, one of the things I found out is I was doing my categories, like how I categorize my books on Amazon wrong. Like I would keep it the most general as possible, so it was wouldn't be left out by the customer if they were searching for poetry, right? So if you say, oh, I want to look up poetry books, and so all the poetry books come up, so mine would be in that list, right? But what you're actually supposed to do is get it like really, really niche. So like most of my poetry is preteen poetry or young adult poetry, the first book. And so you should go like do that. So maybe somebody's looking up preteen poetry. Instead of seeing you just on the poetry page, you would be on the smaller list of preteen poetry. That's just an example. So, and I don't even have it as a keyword preteen poetry, so now I need to go do that. And then I learned about keywords and meta and how the algorithm works now and all the things that when you look at it online, you're like, I'm going to watch a video about it and your eyes glaze over. Like, it's definitely beneficial to learn about it from an actual person that's doing it one-on-one and you can ask questions. So I find that amazing. But one of the things I had started doing, I had already been posting on my social media trying to do like twice a week or something. And at some point, I don't remember at what point, I decided I was going to post every day, right? When I started scheduling though, I never post on Sundays unless it's like an event that's like that day or something like that. Because it's the Lord's Day and I do not do work on Sundays. But I will sell my book on Sundays, let me tell you why. Because I'm selling my series. And the one I do on Sundays is actually at a church. So, and they just supporting like small time business owners or whatever. And so I go set up my table and then I go to their own and break. So I do believe in it. And I don't do anything else on Sundays other than church and that. And that's only every first Sunday. So I was like, I'm gonna start posting every day. So I started scheduling a post to go out every day. At 9 a.m. This is my time, my lunch. And then I will go at lunch and share it to my story, right? Because we have work lunch. And so I'll go share it to my story. And I was like, I'm just going to do this, see what happens, yada, 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 right? So then it started picking up traction. And I was like, okay. And then because I was doing those events, when I would go to events, people would tell me about other events. And so that's how the calendar kept kind of like growing. And I was like, I think I need a newsletter now that I'm having multiple events for fun. So then I started making a newsletter. So then I'm like, okay, I already scheduled my content, but I also need to post a newsletter. And I probably need to post it more than one time. So that made more posts. And then I have, when I get the event, right, I make an event page. And so then I need to promote the event. And so now, like, the other day I was like, posted 3 times. 3 times. So now I'm doing like 9, 12, and 4. So it's no rhyme or reason to the pattern of this. I just chose those times because that's like my daughter Arby gets off bus at 4. So I'm like, okay, if I do it at 4, I'm sitting in the car basically waiting on them to get off the bus. And lunch is lunch, and 9 o'clock in the morning is Like, everybody go to work at 8, and then it makes it rolling at 9. That's my logic. Right? And then, what was I about to say? I schedule, all the ones I schedule, they usually like a month and a half work they'll let me put up, and they all for 9 o'clock. So then I go and I say, oh, I got an event coming up, right? And maybe I want to advertise it every Tuesday. So I'll say, okay, because I already got something scheduled at 9, and 12 is the next slot. 12 is the next slot. So I just use the next slot. So if that slot is full, then I go to the 4 o'clock. And if the 4 o'clock is full, it's probably the next day. The next day or story only. And so it's just been kind of interesting how I went from posting once a day to now I'm like, oh, all the things. I need all the things. And then I'm like, I need music for each one of these. Like, I share them to my story later. And when I share them to my story, I'm like, I need a song. I need a song for the post, or I need a song for the story. Or sometimes I use the same one both, or whatever. And so now I need to come up with like a list of songs because I be thinking about, I get stuck in like a genre or an artist, and I just stick with that artist. So maybe I need to pick out one artist a month or a genre a month because my music selection be all over the place. Like, I do pick the music according to the post. So like yesterday I realized I put Lovely Day by Bill Withers, I love that song, for the event that I'm having tomorrow. And then the chapter of one of my books is about this lesbian friends, these girls that are friends, they become, one is an open lesbian, I guess you could say, and one is not, and they end up sleeping together, and they weren't meant to be, whatever. So that was in, I thought it was cute. And so I ended up I put on Facebook, Elle Gardner, Soundproof Room, and then on Instagram, I put Lick by Cardi B. Because I was trying to think of a song, and because I didn't put the songs on the Instagram one, I was thinking I didn't put one on Facebook one. So I was like, oh, interesting. Whatever's on her own. So, yeah, I need to get it together. And then for, what was the night one? Oh, my night one was the book sale, which, what song I picked there? I don't know. I done had an Indie Ivory song. Oh, Etta James. Sunday Kind of Love. So if you go clicking through my story, right, you're going to hear Lovely Day by Bill Withers, Leak, or Soundproof Room, which is like a fix, both of those like a fix show. And then Etta James, Sunday Kind of Love, right? So maybe it's good and it's different because each one will catch a different person. But otherwise, I mean, I'm kind of like that though. I like a lot of different things. So maybe I'll just do. And I also just looked up how long our reel is, and it says 3 minutes. So most of these things I put on here will be part 2 because I can't paint anything in there. Just FYI. So you'll have plenty